So in today's session we will see how we can use regular expression for parsing the text files. So in the session, suppose I have a file is a textual file, right, where the data is not separated with a comma, or the data may be separated by a space, it can be separated by a tab, or maybe they are not at all separated. So in such cases, how I can extract the data from such files. So let's open the Jupyter notebook. So let's first create our first file. Let's say the name of our first file is ch05_04.txt. So let's open the file. Suppose this is a file I want to read. Okay, so you can see that the data is actually separated by one single space, right? So I want to read such files. So then you can use the command read_table. Okay, just say pd.read_table, specify the name of the file and give the separator. Now in this case the separator is actually a one single white space. So give the separator as /s**. See, there are different kinds of delimiters that you can use. Suppose the data is separated with a digit, then you use /d. Suppose the data you want to extract is separated with a non-digit characters, that means anything other than digit, then you have to use the delimiter as /D. In our case, in this file, it is just one white space character, that's why we are using /s. Suppose a separator is a non-white space character, then use /S. Suppose you have new line, right? The data is separated with is in the next line, then you use /n. Or if you have the data separated by one single by a tab, then you use /t. Okay, so depending upon how the data is separated, you can use these delimiters. So in our case, since the data is separated with a single white space, I have used /s. So let's execute this. First import the pandas and then execute this command. See, I am getting some warning message, that's because of the packages, that you can ignore. Now see the output. Okay, so this is our original file txt, which was like this. Now this txt file has been read into our Python code and it has been converted at the same time into a data frame object, and see how well organized your data frame is created. Now let's suppose I have a file which is like this. Let's say the file which is like this. See, the data here is it's a mix of digit and alphabets. Okay, now this is the textual file that we want to upload into our Python code, and I just want the digits. I just want to take the digits from this file. I want to skip all the alphabetical characters. You can see they're all jumbled up, right? So in such cases, if suppose I want to extract only the digits, in the sense my table finally what I want, I just want like this 0, 123, then 122, then I want 1, then I want 124, and then I want 321. Suppose this is what I want, right? And then I want 2, I want 125, and then I want 333. Suppose I just want to have a data frame, I want to extract only this much content into my Python file, right? So then how do you do it is, use the same command pd.read_table, but then give the delimiter as /D. As I already said, what does /D do? It is used here, the delimiter is non-digit characters. So that means non-digit characters, anything other than digits, would be considered as delimiter. So this would be a delimiter, this would be a delimiter, which is basically going to separate the data. Okay, so that's the only difference. And also do not forget this, mention the header as none. Why I have made the header as none is, see, there is no header here. I do not have any label to our column, unlike the previous case. In the previous case, I had a header, right? I had the header as white, red, blue, green. So the first row is automatically taken as a header. So if there is no header in your file, then you give header is equal to none. Otherwise, what will happen is the first row would be taken as header, which will be a wrong information. So if there is no header in your textual file, then just give header is equal to none. So when I execute this, again there are some warning messages, just skip that, and you can see that this is the output that I have got. Okay, so what is the output that I've got? Similar to what we expected, right? The first column content is 0, 1, 2. The second column content is 123, 124, 125, and then this is the third column. So basically capital D is used to specify, or it's basically a non-digit delimiter, you can say. Okay, now let's suppose I have an other file, something like this. Let's say the file which I have is, the name of the file is ch05_6. See, I want to extract, read the information from this file into our code. Okay, now I don't want these things, I don't want these comments. The first line I don't want this line, I want this I do not want, this I do not want. So what I do is I will mention in my function which rows I want to skip. You can skip certain rows. So which rows I want to skip? The first row would be row 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want to skip the line numbers, row numbers 0, 1, 3 and 6. So what do you do here is the same thing, pd.read_stable, give the name of your file. The separators are also there, right? In this case, wherever data which we are extracting, the separator is comma. So just give the separator as comma. Skip rows, you give as within square brackets, mention the rows that you want to skip. So I want to skip 0, 1, 3, 6. So when you execute this, you can see that, right, the rows 0, 1, this one, 3 and 6 is not printed, and the rest of the things is, right, converted into a data frame object. Okay. So try these examples in your system, okay, and see how you can use this skip rows. And in the next class we will see how we can read text files into parts or partially into the Python code. Thank you.